They were once the golden couple, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, walking through crowds like royalty dipped in modern gloss, all charm, smiles, and carefully curated love. But now, that picture is warping. Slowly. Publicly. And the shift hit hard during what should have been a smooth routine event. It wasn't a scandal. It wasn't a speech gone wrong. It was a moment, a tap, a glance, a hesitation that said everything. Harry stood at the podium in full flow, mic in hand, doing what he does best, being the composed, passionate figure people respect. But then, Meghan appeared behind him. No warning, no cue, just there. She tapped him on the back like it was her turn, her moment. But the problem? It wasn't. That wasn't in the script. Harry's face shifted, his speech staggered, and for a second, the fairy tale cracked. Now people are calling it the tap heard around the world. Maybe dramatic, maybe not. Because that 1 second showed something no press release ever could. Meghan wanted control, and Harry wasn't ready to give it. He didn't hand over the mic. He didn't play along. He hesitated. And in that pause, something real slipped out from behind the polished PR machine. Social media exploded, frame-by-frame breakdowns, facial expression analysis, memes, hot takes. Everyone wanted to weigh in. Was it a power move? Was it insecurity? Was it a couple slipping into dysfunction live on stage? Whatever it wasn't nothing. That much was clear. But this wasn't just about a glitch on stage. Insiders say it's been building for months. Fights behind closed doors. Arguments that start over small things, what to wear, what to say in interviews, even what causes to champion. It sounds petty, but that's how real tension creeps in. The little things pile up until silence isn't peace, it's avoidance. Harry has always played the diplomat, Meghan, the strategist. But somewhere along the way, those roles stopped blending. Now it's more like they're clashing. Meghan's insistence on controlling the narrative, how they're seen, what's posted, how events unfold, has rubbed staff and even friends the wrong way. Some say Harry's patience is thinning. That smile he wears, it's starting to look forced. And people are noticing. That stage moment, it wasn't an outlier, it was a symptom, a glimpse. Observers who followed them for years say Harry is starting to pull back, even if only subtly. He's pausing more, not just with words, but with her. Like he's thinking twice before handing over the spotlight. That's a huge shift. For years, he stood by her through it all. Family feuds, media madness, the royal exit. But now it feels like he's trying to find himself again, outside of Meghan's orbit. The loyalty is still there, but the leash? Maybe not. Some friends close to the couple say Meghan wants to lead everything. Every post, every appearance, every campaign. They say she has to have the final word, and maybe that's worked for a while. But Harry, he's starting to want room, space, a little control of his own life back. The prince, who once threw everything behind his wife, now seems like a man slowly testing his own voice again. Meghan, for her part, isn't backing down. Her energy is still sharp, commanding, always forward. To some, that's admirable. To others, it's overpowering. But either way, the dynamic is shifting. Harry's not the same man he was 5 years ago, and she's not the same woman. What's clear now is that the lines are being drawn. Not in a dramatic divorce kind of way, but in a quiet recalibration. And the whole world is watching. Because when a relationship that was once built on synchronized steps starts missing beats, you can't help but notice. The whispers didn't stop with the stage. They grew louder behind palace walls, then echoed across social media like wildfire. What began as a subtle shift in body language is now being painted as a full-blown power struggle. And here's the thing. This isn't a fairy tale gone sour. It's two very real people with massive public pressure navigating a relationship where both want to lead. People close to the couple say the tension has started bleeding into everyday life. Small decisions have become battlegrounds, scheduling events, aligning on causes, even picking who gives interviews. Each step now comes with friction. Meghan, ever the strategist, wants clarity, consistency, and control. She has a vision for their brand, for their legacy. But Harry, he's craving something quieter, less calculated, more instinctive. That's the tug of war. Meghan thrives in curated environments. She plans, she positions, she knows how to play the game. But Harry, he's starting to tire of the performance. His instincts are different, more off the cuff, more emotional. He doesn't want to be an actor in a perfectly lit narrative anymore. He wants moments that feel real, not rehearsed. Friends say it's not about love, they still care for each other, But love alone isn't enough when the entire world is watching, dissecting, and commenting. It becomes a different kind of pressure, a 24/7 performance. And when one partner is steering that performance too tightly, it can feel less like a marriage and more like a production. Some insiders point to Meghan's growing frustration with Harry's resistance. She sees hesitation as disloyalty. He sees her intensity as suffocating. It's not explosive, it's quieter than that. An awkward silence during dinner, a second take on an interview answer, a retreat into separate rooms after a long day, the kind of tension that builds slowly and wears people down. And then there's the image, the public image they work so hard to build. The polished, progressive couple breaking away from monarchy to build something new. But that image has become a weight. Every slip, every viral clip, every misinterpreted glance is fuel for speculation. And Meghan knows it. That's why she doubles down on control. She's protecting their empire, their message. But in doing so, she's tightening the leash around a man who's always needed to breathe. Harry's friends say he's been reaching out more. Old mates, old habits, even old dreams. There's talk he's considering projects that don't involve Meghan at all. Solo ventures, private partnerships, even returning to causes he abandoned after stepping back from royal duties. It's not rebellion, it's self-preservation. He needs to remember who he was before all this, before the global spotlight became their permanent home. Critics say Meghan should step back, give him room, let him speak. But her supporters fire back. Why should she shrink for anyone? Especially when she's fought so hard to be heard in spaces that tried to silence her. That's the heart of this entire storm. It's not just a marriage. It's two individual paths crossing, clashing, and sometimes pulling apart. Their lives are under a microscope. Every public event is a test. Every camera flash captures more than just smiles, it captures unspoken tension. And fans are starting to feel it. Something's off. It's in the way they stand next to each other, in the pauses, the lack of spontaneous affection. It's not coldness, it's caution, like they're both trying not to slip. Whatever's brewing behind the scenes isn't just gossip anymore, it's visible. And the narrative that once captivated the world is starting to unravel, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly. One uncomfortable glance at a time, behind closed doors, it said that Harry has started speaking up more, not in explosive fights, but in firm boundaries. A quiet no here, a delayed response there. He's not walking out, he's standing up, and that shift is throwing off the dynamic they've both grown used to. Meghan, who's always driven the narrative with confidence and direction, is now dealing with a version of Harry that isn't just going along anymore. And it's not sitting easily. Those who've spent time with them say the mood in the room has changed. Meghan still commands it. She still knows how to light up a conversation, set the tone, and drive the agenda. But Harry, he's becoming more measured, more watchful, less eager to follow the cues. The harmony they once displayed so effortlessly now feels effortful. Like both are trying to maintain a rhythm that no longer comes naturally. And the pressure isn't just internal, it's global. Every move they make is picked apart by fans, critics, the press, even former palace insiders. Meghan's assertiveness is called domineering. Harry's silence is called submission. The interpretations are endless, and neither of them gets a break, because that's the reality of building a life in front of the lens. The cameras don't turn off. And if they do, the internet keeps rolling. Friends close to Harry say he's leaning into therapy again, trying to understand what balance looks like for him. He doesn't want to lose Meghan, but he also doesn't want to lose himself. The journey from Palace to California was meant to be a fresh start, but now it feels like a new version of the same old trap, just different rules, different expectations, same pressure. What complicates things further is their business. Their public image is their brand. The interviews, the appearances, the documentaries, it's all part of the empire they've built together. But when the foundation of that brand, unity, love, shared purpose, starts to crack, everything else is at risk too. Their team knows it, their sponsors know it, and worst of all, they know it. People in their circle describe moments where the warmth is still there, shared glances, private jokes, little touches that remind everyone why they fell for each other in the first place. But those moments are becoming fewer. And when tension outweighs tenderness, questions start to form. Quietly, reluctantly, but they form. Some believe this phase will pass, that all couples hit walls, that this is just the grind of fame, business, and personal growth colliding at once. And maybe that's true. But others are less optimistic. They say Harry looks tired, Meghan looks guarded, and the spark, the natural rhythm they once had, is now replaced by cautious coordination. Still, neither of them is backing out. Meghan continues pushing forward with projects, making headlines commanding attention. Harry is still showing up beside her, still defending her when it matters. But the dynamic is shifting from passion to performance. And it's a fine line to walk without falling off completely. What makes their stories so compelling isn't just who they are, it's how much of themselves they've already shown. The raw interviews, the revelations, the vulnerability. It created a sense of intimacy with the public. But now that things feel off, that same openness is working against them. People notice everything. And right now, they're noticing the silence. At the end of the day, Meghan wants to lead with power. Harry wants to live with peace. And unless those desires find a shared direction,